weekend we're going to do, actually, it's 5 minutes, okay?
She said 10, she said 7, she said 5.
You know what?
No, I don't really have that many questions, honestly.
If you do,
it's just a few.
I'll give you an extra.
All right, I'm ready right now, though.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini mate the I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about you.
New York Toy Fair 2020. This is Boog Nice coming at you from New York Toy Fair 2020. I'm here with the wonderful Dwight and Ryan Ting. We just saw a bunch of stuff in the showroom, a bunch of exciting things, and so I'm gonna chop it up with these guys for a few minutes. How you guys doing?
Doing great. Nice to see you again.
Thank you. Good to see you too. So I was really intrigued by the pinless technology. What was the idea behind that? Whose idea was it? And if it does well, do you think you guys would do that across the board?
It's been something we've been looking at for a while. We're, like I said in the presentation, we're always looking to find ways that we can improve the aesthetic of these figures, period. That actually came from an insight from our partners in HFE, our HFE team. Ben and his team led that and came back to us and saying, we've been talking about this for a long time. We think we got something. And they're the ones who helped us lead it. That's the best part about this team. It's no one or two of us. There's a whole group of us, literally all across this globe, that work to find ways to improve these figures to make them better year in and year out for you, our most passionate fans.
So you guys recently renewed the Hasbro contract with Marvel, correct?
Yep.
Are you guys able to say how long the next contract is for?
We are not, and I do not know, but we are happy to continue work into 2021 and beyond.
Okay. And the previous contract, that was 10 years, right?
I don't know. I know. I don't know. I mean, I guess it was.
Dwight was around back then.
I mean,
I wasn't.
it was longer than that, or there's been extensions because we started making product for shelf for 2007.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1.
Iron Man 1, Ghost Rider were like the first things we did. So we've been doing it for more than 10 years. So I don't remember where the contracts or addendums or things happen.
You could probably Google it.
I could probably Google. Yeah.
So I'm hearing some rumors about maybe Marvel Legends going up in price at retail. Is that true? And if so, is that part of the new deal that you guys just signed? Can you tell me that?
So all we can really say is, we as a retailer provide an SRP, and then everything else is out of our hands. So you'll see from the press sheets that go out for the product descriptions, the SRP for Fantastic Four and those waves have been $19.99, and that's just kind of what we can control.
Yeah, I see things vary as far as GameStop, Walgreens, Walmart. Those prices vary, but I'm hearing $30 is going to be the new price, $29.99.
No, we have characters that are SRPs, is that like our deluxe figures.
Right.
The War Machine you just saw is an SRP of $29.99. Characters like that, yes, but as far as a general of them.
HasLab. Looks like we're going to get a Sentinel from HasLab.
Could be anything.
All right, when are we going to know more?
So
this year?
Yeah, later this spring.
Okay, San Diego Comic-Con, I guess we'll hear something else, yeah?
Before then.
All right. Nimrod. Finally, Nimrod. Thank you, guys. So, Powers of X, though. He's based on the Powers of X look, correct?
Well, yeah, because Nimrod's tough, right? Because the classic design is really dated, and it was tough. We've wanted to do him for a long time, but the look of that design was really challenging to translate.
I agree.
So, when the House of X, Powers of X gave us a new look for Nimrod, we're like, we can totally nail that, which we hope that, you feel like we did. But we know that there are a lot of fans that are going to be excited about the classic one, so we did give him a classic head as well, so you can take off his backpack, swap out heads, and if you're more of a classic purist, you'll have that version of Nimrod that you can enjoy for many, many years to come as well.
Very cool. So will he be a Build-A-Figure, or are we not really sure yet?
He's he is not a Build-A-Figure. He's Build-A-Figure. He's Build-A-Figure scale.
Okay.
But how and what goes where with him is
so maybe
still
deluxe.
yet to be.
Maybe deluxe, huh?
More to come.
All right. Retro Storm, finally. Thanks again for that, too. She's going to be just a single-carded retro figure, right?
More to come on that, too.
Okay.
Targeting the first appearance Storm, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The rumor was that we were going to get maybe a Punisher van, but we ended up with a Punisher motorcycle. Still a van in the works, maybe?
Hey, you never can tell. Our vehicles line, we've had a lot of fun with it, and we've ventured into weird different shapes and sizes of things. So, you know, from hover chairs to scooters to cosmic motorcycles. So, you know, don't give up hope. That might be that could be an amazing HasLab somewhere down the line.
Okay. How about the look for Punisher? Was it based on a specific artist's rendition? Or?
It was Ariel Alavadi.
Okay. So the movie Professor X and the swappable heads with those, will the comic-based Professor X head work on that body, you think?
It's the same base body, so yes, the comic head should pop onto that body, yes.
And just a little clarification on the Gamerverse characters versus the comic characters in that line. Tell me again what the game characters were. Kamala Khan,
Iron Man, Kamala, and Captain America, and then the Build-A-Figure Abomination is how he looks in the new game.
Okay, and then the other characters are all...
Star Boost is an exclusive.
Yep, Star Boost Armor is an exclusive for Target.
Okay.
And then the 4 comic characters in that wave are Leader, Mach 1,
Marvel,
and Rage.
And just clarification on the AOA wave, we knew all of the single-carded figures, but now we know that Sugar Man is the Build-A-Figure, correct?
Yep, we have them in pack too, so you can kind of see.
Cool. And the AOA Apocalypse, do we know how he's going to come yet, or no?
He is a deluxe $30, $29.99 SRP.
Okay.
As well as the classic War Machine.
Okay.
They're both individual.
Cool. That's pretty much all I had, guys.
Cool.
Thank you. I took it easy on you this time.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
You're a kind, gentle overlord.
So just a few things to note real quick. I wasn't even aware that we were going to be allowed to conduct interviews until maybe a few days out. One of the PR reps hit me up and asked if I would be interested in doing an interview. So of course I said yes. She said it would be about 10 minutes and I needed to schedule a slot. So that's what I did. For the most part, throughout the presentation before we went into the showroom, they were like totally on point as far as hitting the time that each brand had to present whatever the new product was. So, you know, they went through everything: Hasbro, Transformers, Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, you know, and it was a pretty long presentation in the auditorium before we went down to the showroom to actually see the product. And down in the showroom is where we were allowed to conduct an interview. But because the presentation was so extensive and they showed so much stuff and so many things that I had been asking for anyway, I didn't really have the right questions prepared. So I asked a few questions just based on what we saw, and that's why I didn't have a really detailed interview this time. Before Toy Fair, a company hit me up, 616 Films or Studios, and they were asking if I'd be interested in being a part of a documentary on collectors and toy photographers. They asked me a bunch of questions about A.C.B.A., and they were planning to actually come by the crib and see my process of me setting up stuff and film that and talk with me about how I've been an influencer in the toy photog community and the collecting community or what have you. So they hit up quite a few people throughout the community. I'm sure other people will come out and say that they hit them up. But at the last minute, their schedule got messed up and they weren't allowed to do that. However, they were still at Toy Fair and they still were filming other people doing their interviews and talking with other people and chopping it up with people there. They filmed me, they filmed Shartimus, pretty much every influencer that was there. So I assume something will come of that at some point, but just giving you guys the heads up. I had planned to do a setup with one of my man Ron's dioramas, a new diorama that I got. I guess maybe I'll be using some of that footage right here, right now, and then let that carry over into another video. But other things I wanted to touch on, the pinless technology, which looks amazing. The first figure they showed in the presentation with this pinless tech was the Old Man Hawkeye, and then they went on to say that Old Man Logan had the same tech, and so does the new swimsuit Storm. So that is very interesting. They didn't really want to touch on any of the contract stuff, but I was trying to bring that up and trying to dive into that because of the rumors about the price hike and trying to see if it was tied in any way. I guess time will tell. We'll wait and see. The Sentinel was a quick little like animation graphic thing that they showed during the presentation in the auditorium, and it looked like a Sentinel targeting Jubilee. So that's why we all under the impression that the HasLab project is going to be a Sentinel. So you can pretty much almost guarantee that that's what's going to happen with that. Punisher van, I was pushing and asking about that. I'm under strong suspicion that the Punisher van is still something that's going to happen. I'm thinking that the bike may actually be able to go inside of the van, and that they'll do the van at some point, because the information that I got before Toy Fair was pretty accurate for the most part. So we'll see what happens. I asked about Professor X and swapping on the heads. Maybe we could use that chair from the movie Professor X as a more modern Professor X and just use the comic-based head. And AOA Apocalypse is probably going to drop alongside the AOA Wave as like a deluxe figure, sort of like Archangel and the others. I think they mentioned that. So I just wanted to touch on those things real quick. Thanks for hanging out, though. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.